Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you can be with us, whether you are here live or listening to this later on. I just want to express my gratitude and appreciation for those that work hard to teach and to uplift and to help us to be better people. And there's a lot of work that's happening behind the scenes, so to speak. And I just want to acknowledge those people who really put forth the effort to make this beautiful play box a container of safety and spiritual upliftment and so forth. If hold on. Okay. If your day is similar to mine, it's been quite an interesting day, and so I would like us to. I used to do this fairly frequently on my radio show. Let's just take a minute and slow ourselves down and get ourselves grounded and come to a place of being fully present, so that we can connect through that energy. And so if you would, I would invite you to just close your eyes. If you're not comfortable with that, just kind of look off into the distance. Take a few deep breaths. And just with each breath, feel yourself just kind of coming from all over the place to being centered. And I am inviting my ego with its to-do list of everything that I've got to get done today and everything that has happened today. I am inviting it to go down to the local coffee shop and get a chai tea, and I'll invite it back when we're through here. When I first decided to do this conference on freedom to choose, the primary focus was going to be, and still is, freedom for you all to bring up topics and subjects that you would like to discuss, and then we can have a communication about whatever happens to be on your mind. Oh, Erica, that is strange. I've Erica's saying that there was no notification of this video. I posted a few things. Actually, Erica, you're right on cue. I was just going to say it has been a very interesting day with technology and so forth. Just a quick little story. This actually goes back several months. Towards the September or October of 2016, I wanted to start doing live videos, and but every time that I would try to do a live video on the page that I'm on right now, on the Brad Simkins page that I'm on right now, I would get this error message that says this user cannot do videos or something like that. And I wrote to Facebook, and of course that didn't do any good. And I talked to Neen and several other friends. You're 18 is Erica. I love you, girl. I love you. So I wrote Facebook numerous times, of course, never getting an answer. And so I just kind of put it on the back burner and just kind of figured, well, I can't do live videos. And so I started doing recorded videos, and then posting them. And that started working pretty well. And then a few months ago, as I was meditating, the idea came, well, just create another page and maybe a different Facebook page, profile page. Maybe you'd be able to do it from that page. And so I created the Brad Simkins, what I used to call the Brad Simkins conference page. And sure enough, had no problem. Everything as far as my computer, my phone, all of that worked just fine. It was just this page that just wouldn't let me do it. And so off I went, and I'm doing videos and doing lives, and everything's great. And then my beloved friend Neen asked me if I would join the Playbox, Spiritual Playbox, and I was just honored. And so I started doing live videos within the Playbox. Well, so this morning I get up and I do a bunch of things, and I go to the conference page to check to see if I've got any messages or what have you. And it says, there has been some unusual activity on your page, and so we have shut it down until you can verify that this is you. And so it took me to another page, and it says, put in your phone number. So I put in my phone number, and I got texted a code, and I plugged the code in, and I hit, and it just wouldn't accept it. And I tried and tried and tried, and it just wouldn't accept it. And it said, if you want to get a different code, you have to wait 5 minutes. Yes, thank you, Erica. I'm getting to self-sabotage. So I waited like 2 hours, tried it again, and it still wouldn't. And then it gets this message that says, hold on there. You're doing this too fast. You need to wait at least 5 minutes. I'd wait at 2 hours. You need to wait 5 minutes, or else the whole thing will shut the whole thing down. You won't be allowed to use this. And so I had this thought of dismay, and this thought of the gremlins don't like me, or whatever. And then it came to me, choice. Today is the freedom to have choice. And so I said to myself, okay, I choose to not get discouraged, to not get angry, to not get discouraged, and I'm going to just see what other possibilities there are. Surely there must be an answer to this. And so I went back to my main page, which is this one, or the one that I'm coming from, into Playbox, and the video worked just great. And so I thought, well, okay, now I don't need two profile pages anymore. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about is, as I talk with clients, one of the things that I often hear is, well, I feel bad because some people seem to be able to handle stuff like this, and then some people can't. And I'm not sure that's been my experience with it. My experience with it has been, sometimes I make good choices, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I make emotional, drama-filled choices. Woe is me, everybody hates me, nobody likes me, I'm gonna go eat worms, or however that song. My kids used to sing that all the time. My grandkids aren't into it, thankfully, so I don't know it as well as I used to. So with choice, first and foremost, as we've talked about before on here, we never compare our insides to someone else's outsides, because everyone will come up short. Everyone. And I've had CEOs, I've had physicians, I've had attorneys, I've had house cleaners. Everyone looks at other people's outsides, compares them to their inner insecurities, and will always come up short. So whenever you catch yourself saying, well, I feel this inside and they seem like, stop and just say, no, that's not accurate. Secondly, in any given moment, you have the right to choose. If you've thrown a tantrum for 45 minutes, in that 46th minute, you have the power to choose. You can continue with the tantrum, or you can do something else. As my beloved mentor, Wayne Dyer, used to always say, I can choose peace rather than this. And so let us utilize something about these videos gives me a itchy nose. Must be a message. But at any given minute, we have the freedom to choose how we're going to respond. Even if for 350,000 times we've reacted in a certain way, in this moment, I have the choice to do something different. I have the choice to raise myself up or to further de-escalate down into lower vibrations. So, and then to address Steve, Steve asked if we could talk about self-sabotage. And Steve, I've been watching for you. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to make it win the live show. With self-sabotage, self-sabotage brings us back to a term called homeostasis. And homeostasis is just simply the desire to stay within one's comfort zone. For example, if you have a home with central air, and if things get too cold, if they get too low, a switch is flipped and changes are made to bring the atmosphere up to a comfortable level. And if the atmosphere gets too warm, a different switch is flipped and adjustments are made to bring the temperature back down to that comfort level. Within us, we have a similar system of homeostasis. And that is, as we're going along, we can, and many of us have experienced this, where we kind of got into a funk. This might last a couple hours or a couple months. Excuse me. We get into a funk and our vibration's just not very high. And then one day we wake up or something happens and we just kind of say to ourselves, okay, no more. And to use an old saying, we pull ourselves up by our bootstraps or we reach out for help and we bring ourselves back up to a level that we are more comfortable with. A level of success and well-being and doing well that is within our comfort zone. And we all love this. We all say, yeah, love that. And we all recognize it. There's a other side of this coin. And that is when things start going really well. And Steve, I'm hoping that this is what you're referring to. If not, let me know and we can discuss it in another conference. But we can be going along. Wherever you're working, you're working really, really hard. You're dedicated. You're committed, and the supervisor calls you in and says, "We have noticed your hard work, and we want to give you a promotion. We want to give you a raise. We want to give you a new title." and it's like, yay, 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 yay. And then we start noticing that we're making mistakes that we've never made before. This is all just hypothetical. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but kind of a strong example of this. And we start calling in sick a lot. We start coming in late a lot. We miss deadlines for reports or what have you. And so finally, a few weeks after we get this awesome promotion, we're either let go, fired, or we're put back into the previous position, or demoted. And people will often, that's when they come to me and they say, why would I do this? I have never behaved like that before. That is totally outside of my norm. Why would I be acting this way? Okay. Would love to, Erica. And or another thing, another example, just broad examples. You've dreamed about this ideal person. Maybe you've never met them, but you've had this idea of this ideal person that would be your perfect mate.